I look at the state of the state, and I say right now, fiscally, it is not good. And I will say, what in the world can I do? I've been in the House for 17 years. I've stood up and I've fought and opposed every bloated budget. I've spoken out against every tax increase and never voted for one. And yet, it seems like the tide has not been turned. I'm saying, what can be done? And I have looked at the role of the governor. When I see the governor there and I say, you know, the governor does have a very important part that he plays in setting the tone and the culture and the climate for a state. That position can make a difference. And I began to think, should I consider that? Should I be thinking in terms of offering my service and investing my time in that kind of a position? And then the thoughts started going through my mind. You gotta be kidding me. Who in the world wants to be governor in 3 years? Can he possibly win? If I run and lose, what am I going to do for a job? I began to think, what about the impact, the grueling impact that a statewide race would mean on my family? And I looked around and I thought to myself, what kind of an impact would it make on my two youngest sons, Stephen, 15, and Josiah, 12, who's standing out here, where their time with their father is already less than I want. And being in politics long enough, I know how dirty politics can get. And I thought, wonder what kind of an impact that would make on my grown children. Nathan and his wife Shyla and their 3 children. David and his wife Amanda. Jason. And Julia sitting here and her husband Alan. And I thought about Ruth Ann. What kind of an impact would it make on her? She's still overseeing the education of her 2 youngest sons. She plays a very vital role in our family. What would it mean to her? These are big thoughts. They were staggering thoughts. And we began the process of talking and thinking and praying. I only talked with all of my children probably twice. And at times I tried to pull away and said, no, let somebody else do it. Then about that time, I'll get a call. I don't know if he's here or not, but there's a fellow here, Craig, a friend of mine, called me one night and he said, Sam, my wife and I have been talking and we just felt compelled to call you and tell you you've got to run for governor. He said the state is in an absolute abysmal mess, but you've been right on the issues and people trust you. You need to step out. And then I get an email from somebody who I didn't know. This one came from Linda. She said, Americans are frantic and powerless. We can do nothing but call, write, and express ourselves to our leaders, yet all of which it seems to do is a futile effort. Sam, you are our local leader. Stop waiting and wishing and please give the clarion call. We all trust you, believe in you, and behind you. It's time to throw political correctness and protocol to the wind and step out. And so week by week, these kind of things would come in from a farmer in Lancaster County and from a housewife would call in from Luzerne County. Moved us forward. Well, it's moved us. It's moved us to a point where I thought, all right, I better do some of the things my mom talked to me about. And when I began, and I went back and began to immerse myself in the history of our nation. I began to consider again those leaders. And I read the 5,000-year lead. And I reread 1776. And I read The Light and the Glory. And I tried to put myself in position to imagine what those great leaders did in the difficulties that they faced and what led up to their great choices and decisions. Because I had to be certain. I had to be certain that my family was ready to step out. I had to be certain that Ruth Ann was ready to take a big step, possibly. And I had to be fully confident in my heart that God was in this. But ultimately, in September, that point came. And some steps came together and have resulted in here tonight. So folks, we're here tonight. We're here tonight. You're here tonight. All of my family are here tonight. And joining us on live webcast tonight and cable TV are probably hundreds and thousands of people who are joining with us tonight. And I want you to be the first to hear that after very careful and deliberate consideration, I have considered the personal cost and the cost of our family for a potential run for governor. And I also want you to know that I have carefully and deliberately considered the cost to my own heart and soul if I refused to consider the poll. And I want you to know that I have arrived at a very firm conclusion in which I am fully positive, no doubt, not a shadow of doubt in my mind, and that is that I am willing to invest my time and my life in service for those in this Commonwealth if they so choose, if you so choose. So tonight, I want to tell you that I have made the decision to officially announce this evening that I intend to pursue the office of governor